my channel. My name is Leila Mekhdiyeva, and this is the video where I will talk about my major, journalism, and I hope this video will help those of you who are considering majoring in journalism, or maybe you are currently studying journalism and maybe you are a journalist. Who knows why you're watching this video? But anyways, let me talk about my journalism experience and why I think you should study journalism, or maybe why you shouldn't. Let me start with stating the fact that journalism and media world in general is changing a lot and very quickly. Over the past 10 years, we saw how social media became such a huge part of our daily life, and of course it affected journalism and how media is working, because in the age of instant news, you need to be quick, you need to be the first one, and you need to check your facts. And all of that is happening just very, very quickly, and that is the reality. You have to be able to produce good content that will provide, bright future for your media outlet that you're working for. So anyways, journalism is changing, and that is very important to keep in mind when you are thinking about your future in journalism. And those days when journalists were just, mainly men working for newspapers, running around the town or maybe around the world, and producing news and sending them to their editors. Those days are really over, I would say. Now we have citizen journalism, we have bloggers, influencers, and just random people. When something is happening, it's breaking news, the first one who gets to cover that. And sometimes it's just someone with his iPhone able to record that, take a photo or tweet that. That person is the first one who covered that, so why not to call him a journalist, right? But what is journalism then if it's changing so quickly, and does it even exist these days? That's something that you might write tons of papers about and discuss for hours, but as I have only few minutes to talk about journalism, I'm not going to go that deep into the topic. All I want to say with those examples that I gave you is that when you think of journalism, don't think about those cliche things that were around for so long, and that some people still think that journalists are those people that were in 20th century. No, it's very different right now, and you have to keep in mind that this is very unstable at the moment career choice, because you never know if you will be able to make money as a journalist. But for that, we're moving to the next point that I made, is that you have to be passionate about journalism. Before choosing journalism, you have to be 100% sure that you are doing what you love, because otherwise everything that you're going to learn at the university is going to be worthless and pointless. And the only thing that I know for sure is that if you want to become a journalist, you have to feel this calling deep inside. No matter how hard it's going to be, no matter how much you're going to pay for you to become a journalist, a professional, you're ready for it. You're ready because there is nothing in this world that you want to do but journalism. So with that being said, let's move to the next point. And next is my personal experience, my personal story. So my entire life I was very interested in TV. As the only child in my family, I was raised by television. My parents would work hard, so I wouldn't really see them that often. I had nanny, then I went to kindergarten, then was school, but I always had my television. That was my best friend for years. And yes, it sounds cheesy, tacky, really weird, but that's the truth, and I'm proud of that, because of the TV, I was able to dream, to dream that one day I will be a TV host, a TV presenter, and I don't know why I forgot about it. I somehow thought that in my childhood, because I wanted to be a lawyer, then I wanted to be an actress, then I wanted to be a singer, you know, typical career choice for kids, but I thought I never actually thought about journalism when I was little. I thought that I thought about it when I was a teenager, because I remember when I saw someone was majoring in journalism on TV, someone was talking about it, and I was like, oh, journalism is so cool. But I felt like my dad won't let me study journalism. And because I wanted to study law or international relations, yeah, I thought that my dad won't let me study journalism. But then he was totally okay with journalism, and I always thought that that was the moment when I became passionate about journalism, when I had that idea and my dad approved it, because I was such a good girl and I would never choose something that my parents would not approve. But now when I look back, I actually remember how my entire life I really wanted to be on TV. I really wanted to be a TV host. And that's the reason why I have this YouTube channel right now. Not because of my vanity, and I'm so self-obsessed, but just because I want to practice, I want to work on camera, and I love doing it. It makes me feel way happier. So whatever makes you happy, baby, go for it. Yeah, but I would do exactly the same thing in my childhood. And when I say in my childhood, I mean specifically that time when I was from 3 to probably 10. I would just stand as I'm standing right now and imagine that I am a VJ of like TV show on MTV, something like top 10 hot music videos of the week. So I would stand and be like, I would obviously just talking to myself, but I was standing as I'm standing right now, and I wasn't recording anything like that. No, I was just using my greatest tool, my imagination, and I was like, hello everyone, my name is Leila, VJ Leila, and today I'm ready to present 10 hot music videos. Let's go! Something like that. I was so obsessed with journalism, and I don't know why I forgot about that. Now I look back and I definitely remember that, and my entire life. I even wanted to create my own TV channel, and I was so obsessed with that idea that I even made a list of TV programs, TV shows that I can record, I can show on my TV channel. You know, you never know, but right now I have a channel. It's not a TV channel, but still, you know. So maybe at some point my childhood dream came true without me even understanding that. Anyways, so when I decided that I want to study journalism, and when time came for me to decide and to go to study somewhere, I chose media marketing somehow, and I went to Malaysia. And there in Malaysia, I realized that media marketing is not what I want to do. I want to study journalism. So I left Malaysia, I dropped out of college, and I took some time. I started working in the fashion magazine back home, and I saw that I'm really passionate about journalism. Whatever it is, writing, talking, you know, whatever comes to your definition of journalism, I was extra passionate about that. So all I knew back then, and at that time already turned 19, and I was working as a social editor, journalist, fashion journalist at that fashion magazine. And at that time, all I knew is that I need more knowledge. I need my degree, I need to become a professional, because I'm a perfectionist, you know, and if I'm doing something, I go all the way in, like I'm all in. I just have to, and I have to become the best version of myself. So that's how I decided to finally major in journalism, and that's how I came to Prague, and right now I'm studying journalism and communications at Anglo-American University, and I'm about to graduate next summer. So right now it's fall 2017, and I will graduate in summer 2018. So this is my last semester. I have 3 classes, and then in spring I will be writing my thesis. Have no idea what I'm going to write about. I will update you guys. Yeah, and then hopefully I will graduate, and I couldn't be happier. So now that you know my personal story, we can move to the next point. You have to be sure if you want to study journalism. Ask yourself if you are really interested in journalism and in becoming a journalist. A lot of people that I know that study journalism with me, they usually say that they chose journalism not because they were passionate about journalism itself and they don't really want to become journalists after they graduate journalism school, but they just decided to study journalism because they like writing or they don't like numbers. Thank God, you know, you don't have to study math when you're a journalist. I mean, it depends. If you're studying business journalism, probably you will have something to do with numbers, but like mainly you don't study that shit. So maybe if you want to become a writer, maybe it's better to choose English major because you will have a chance to study literature itself and, you know, read a lot and write. Do you write an English major? I think you do. Well, you will have a chance to learn more about writers, you know. So I wouldn't choose journalism if I was so into writing itself. But as writing has always been a passion of mine, as well as an idea of becoming a TV host, you know, a journalist, and like I always was interested in people. I was always asking questions. I was always curious about everything. I was always talking a lot and everything. So I definitely fit in as a journalist. But if you are not like that and you just love writing and you love this as an art, you know, I would definitely recommend you choose English major because I have seen people being like, I don't know what to choose, journalism major or English major. If I'm just like, you know, in between, I would say go for English major if you don't really feel that you are a journalist, you're more of a writer. On the other hand, journalism is all about writing and reading. But if you're definitely not into writing and reading a lot, because like all I remember for the past 3 years of my life is me sitting during the night, drinking coffee, staying up late to write that paper about anything basically that I definitely had no idea about, but I was just making it happen because, you know, that's what you do. You just write, and before that you need to read something so you will be able to write about that. That is journalism major. So if you're not into it, I would say go to study marketing, as I did before, you know, media marketing, because it's more about business and you can use it as, you know, if you will choose to work in media, in PR or anything like that. So yeah, I think carefully about that. There are so many different alternatives to journalism that you can choose. So think twice before making a mistake. Well, obviously you don't have to choose specifically marketing. You can choose advertising, more specifically PR, communications, anything like that. If you are interested in business as well, you know. But if you're into journalism, let's move to the next point. What journalism major gives you? Well, you can work in broadcast journalism when you graduate. You can work in, obviously, print journalism, in PR, advertising. Still, even if you are not marketing student, journalism is all about communications. As my major is journalism and communications, I think minor is communications, but still, I have learned a lot, not only about journalism and writing and politics, but a lot about communications. Probably not that much as if I majored in communications specifically, but still some knowledge is there. For example, this semester I'm taking PR class. Hopefully we'll learn something and we'll be able to make money in the end. But yeah, as I said in the beginning, journalism and media world is changing a lot with all those bloggers, influencers, and citizen journalism. Journalism is changing, I'm telling you. So you can work in social media, in PR, in advertising. There are definitely a lot of things you can do after graduating journalism school. And I even think that majoring in journalism can help you work in politics. if you have studied journalism, and I personally studied a lot about politics, because political journalism is always on top, because people need news, you know, that will be always something that we need. So political journalism is a good choice if you are not sure which sort of journalism to choose. And after that, you can even go for politics instead of just journalism. So, you know, you never know. Journalism is a great area for you to study, by the end of which you will be able to do something different, but also related to your major. Studying journalism is a lot about ethics, objectivity, and morals. So that's definitely something that you will have to learn, because if you think that journalists are producing fake news, shame on you, because definitely there are people that call themselves journalists and do that, but a good journalist has to learn those things, and that is why it's good to major in journalism if you specifically will work in journalism. And another thing is that in journalism, I think practice is always more important than theory, even though I have learned a lot at university and I'm so thankful, but practicing and working as a journalist is totally different experience, and it gives you more to learn from. So internships are very important when you study journalism, so make sure that your school, your college provides that opportunity to intern, you know, to find something. And my last point, if you will choose journalism major, there are a lot of pros that you will gain in the end of your bachelor's or master's, whatever you go for, experience. And that is, of course, your writing will become way better. There are a lot of rules to follow. There is a lot to learn. So yeah, by the end of your journalism program, you will definitely learn that, because for all those years at college or university, you will have a chance to study that. And of course, verbal communication. As a journalist, you will have to talk to people, and during your university years, it's good for you to practice that. And for me, it was really hard because I had social anxiety, but I had to face it. That was my biggest fear, and I did. I took public speaking last semester, and that was the best experience I ever had, because I just faced my fear. I had to talk in front of other people, and I think after 4 months of doing that, I became such a pro, and I had so many good compliments from other people, and that is the best thing I could ever do for myself, and I'm so happy that I could do it. But right now I'm just so excited to go out there, start interviewing people, talking to the camera, doing all that. So yeah, definitely facing your fears is what you should do. Another great thing that you will gain by the end of your journalism program is critical thinking. Because we're living in the age of fake news, you will have to always check your facts, and critical thinking helps you with that. And I think what made me more critical when it comes to writing is definitely my university, everything that I have learned. So I'm so grateful once again for all the classes that I took, especially now when I'm about to graduate, and I look back and I see how much I changed, and I'm more than grateful. And of course, research. You have to research, and I think not only as a journalist, but other careers also require that. But as a journalist, you research a lot, and even maybe more than just writing, talking to people. You research, you check the facts, as I said, you make sure that what you're writing about is real. So investigation, even if you are not an investigative journalist, still that thing is there, whatever you're writing about. And you will also be able to know what you're passionate about, like which field of journalism is more for you, because there's so many different options when it comes to journalism. For example, now you know that you want to be a journalist, but like, what are you going to write about? Are you passionate about politics or culture or fashion or broadcast journalism or creative writing. So there is a lot and you will have a chance to learn a lot, so make sure to choose those classes that are interesting for you and that you're passionate about. For example, I took international journalism as my genre in journalism, and I'm so happy that I did that, because as someone who is of mixed origin, coming from Central Asia and now studying in Central Europe and speaking 4.5 languages, for me that's definitely international journalism is something I'm passionate about. Choose your classes wisely, my friend. And the last thing that I want to say is that journalism major gives you an opportunity to work independently. And now, as I said, citizen journalism is a thing, and being a blogger and being just freelance writer or journalist, it's actually good, because as far as I know, a lot of journalists, they prefer to work by themselves and just to work on their stories, and I totally get it. And I think now more than ever you can be an independent journalist. You can write for different outlets, for different news magazines, websites. You can totally do that. You can live in one country and work for another country and travel the world and cover different interesting stories. So that is so good if you are really into traveling the world, being independent, not depending on any company, then journalism is definitely your major. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I hope that now you know for sure what you should focus on, what you should study, if you should become a journalist or not. I hope you will, and you will become my fellow journalist in the future. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss my new uploads and you will help my channel grow. I really appreciate it, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.